If you apply what I'm saying to you guys, I promise you, the bags will start coming in, the acceptances will start raining in, and it's just only going to be up from here. So as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all watching this video. What's good, y'all? Hope y'all having a blessed day. So today I'm coming at you with some facts about applications, especially for scholarships and colleges, universities, whatever the case may be. These are some tips that y'all need to hear, because I guarantee you that if you follow these steps, you're most likely going to end up winning scholarships after this or getting into schools after this, because there's so many little details that a lot of people aren't cognizant of, or that a lot of people just don't pay attention to, that can make all the difference in your decision of whether you get accepted or denied, or whether you receive that scholarship or you get hit with that.
Thank you so much for applying. We had such a competitive application pool.
Y'all know the drill. I'm not even here to waste any time, because time is money, so let's get right on into the video. So my first tip is to pay attention to the cohesiveness of your application. You want to make sure that from the part where you write your name all the way down, you're presenting a consistent theme. That can make all the difference, because if your application is haphazard and it's all over the place, and one place you talking about you're passionate about this, then by the end of your essay you talking about, oh, I really like to do this, but I'm not really sure if I want to go into this field, but I also like this, they're gonna be like, you don't even know yourself, you don't even know what you want to do. And colleges and scholarships, these are all an investment, so they are going to invest in people who they believe, whether they are completely sure of themselves or what they want to do, they are confident in their abilities and they stay true to themselves. It's nothing worse than somebody who's fickle and changing every couple seconds. So you want to make sure that your application is cohesive, you're presenting yourself more or less the same throughout it, and that there aren't going to be any random surprises. My second tip is to be intentional with every single word. Usually you have a word count for an essay, or you have a time limit in a video that you have to submit when you're applying for something, and you want to make sure that you're making use of every single opportunity that you can in the application. If the application prompt says, oh, explain to us why you would like to be an astronaut, what? Don't make your first sentence, oh, I want to be an astronaut because. That's a given. They already know that. That's wasted time, that's wasted space that you could have used to articulate more about yourself, more about your passion. And the words that you more or less wasted to reiterate the same thing that they already know, those words could have made the difference between you winning and losing, because you could have had, boom, a couple more words that tug on the heartstrings of the application readers, or that could be used to tie your application in all together and make them feel, wow, this is the person that I want to win this scholarship or to get accepted to this school. So you don't want to waste time saying things that people already know. We don't have time for that. And the same thing can be said with over explaining and getting word vomit. You gotta cut it. No application reader wants to sit here and read 1,000 applications in the first place. So if the word limit is 500 words, do not send in an 800 word essay, because they're gonna look at it and just push it to the side. Nobody wants, first of all, it shows that you can't follow instructions, and second of all, nobody wants to do that. So you want to get your point across in the most intentional and concise manner possible. It could be as quick of a change as saying, I like to read and write comic books, instead of saying, I like to read comic books and I like to write comic books. My third tip, and even though this seems like common sense, it happens way more than you know. Make sure that you are not name dropping the wrong institutions or the wrong scholarships, because let's face it, you're writing more or less the same essays over and over, because a lot of the times these applications give you the agency to write about whatever you want to write about, so you can reuse an essay. You do not want to be applying to, say, Princeton, and you have UF in your essay. They're gonna look at it and be like, what the hell? Like, you don't care enough about our application to read through and actually give us the right name. Like, it's almost kind of disrespectful, even though it's not done intentionally. It's just like, well, dang, they didn't care enough to proofread and to personalize their application for us, so why should we care enough to award you with this? It just doesn't make sense. And this can be extended to making sure that you fill out all the application boxes correctly. If they ask you for your address, don't go write in your P.O. box or something, or don't go write in your school's address. If they tell you to write your email address, make sure that you use an email address that you, one, have access to, and two, check regularly. Usually when you get responses from these companies or institutions, whatever the case may be, they're time sensitive. If you don't respond within a certain time frame, they're giving it to the next person. So you want to make sure that you're using an email and writing down an email or a phone number that you have consistent access to. And you want to make sure that you write it down correctly. Because if your email is Gabby123 and you write Gabby1, or you don't write legibly and it looks like Gabby133, the email is not going to go through and now you missed out on some money. So you want to make sure that you're double checking so that you can read what you write, so that you know the person who's going to receive your application can read what you've written. And you also just want to make sure that all your information is correct, because if you win, they want to contact you, and if they can't contact you, you can't win. One of the most subtle ways to almost always guarantee that you'll win something is to like slyly incorporate the company or the foundation's values and their motto. Not verbatim, like word for word, obviously, because one, that's plagiarism, two, you're just gonna look stupid. If you look on McDonald's website, for instance, and it's talking about, oh, we really value the outdoors, we love nature, we're all about, I don't know, veganism or something, you wanna, oh, okay. In my essay, I may just include, yeah, oh, I love to go hiking, or I love like the green scenery. Or if you're applying to a foundation and on their page they say that they like devote themselves to creating fearless leaders who aren't afraid to like go against the grain, or who have like really invigorating new ideas. Why wouldn't you make your essay about a club that you started that embodies that, or an initiative that you're involved with that resembles that motto, or that shows that you have that leadership, that fire, that vim? Like, come on. As soon as they see that, because they already know what their company values, what their foundation values, these organizations are going to choose people who they feel like are a reflection of themselves and who they feel like properly represents their brand. And if you can like articulate yourself and like kind of orchestrate your application to resemble that, or to reflect a lot of the elements that they value, it's almost always going to be a win-win. But just be wary. Don't plagiarize. Don't use exactly the same words. I mean, you can use some of the words that they have on the website, but then it's just, they're gonna pick up on it and be like, oh, they're just using a whole bunch of buzzwords. Like, we definitely wrote this in our bio, and now we're seeing like all 5 of the same words that we have on our company motto page in here. Like, they're gonna know. You have to do it authentically, but also don't force it. If you don't embody those values and characteristics, then maybe the scholarship just isn't for you, or the school just isn't for you, and that's that. And last but not least, and lastly but most importantly, shoot for the stars, within reason, of course. When I say this, I don't mean like if the cutoff test score is like a 1500 and you only have like a 1240, like that's kind of dead. I'm talking about more so, say the GPA cutoff is a 3.5, but you have a 3.4 or a 3.3, but you're qualified, or better yet, overqualified in other aspects. Say the requirement is you have 250 service hours, but you have 600, or you have like 400, then still apply, because even though you may not have it in one area, you compensate for that, or better yet, overcompensate in other aspects, so you're still a very good candidate. But with this being said, if you know that you aren't 100% qualified for something, it's kind of like gonna be a reach, but it's always a reach that you should take, because you literally miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. So if you apply and you don't get it, oh well, you weren't supposed to apply in the first place. You really don't lose anything. And it's not even like you lose time, because that same essay that you wrote, or the same information that you put down, could be transferred to another application and just modified slightly. So just apply for everything. Apply far and wide, because you never know who is watching you. You never know who's going to be moved by what you say, or you never know who is going to believe in you. Like, I there have been a lot of times when scholarships, they'll put out an application and not enough people apply. So if you're one of the 3 people that apply and you're better than the other applicants, it doesn't matter whether you were qualified in the first place, because they may just split the prize between the 3 of you guys because they expected to have more, and you would never get that opportunity unless you applied in the first place. So all in all, these are my tips. I hope it helps you guys out a little bit, because I know that applications can be really stressful, but boom, if you apply what I'm saying to you guys, I promise you, the bags will start coming in, the acceptances will start raining in, and it's just only going to be up from here. So as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all watching this video, and I can't wait to see y'all soon.